It didn't happen unless it was written down. This is a common adage when referring to the importance of keeping food safety records. Record keeping is important in any farm operation because it helps farmers keep track of activities completed and monitor what needs to be done. Diligent record keeping helps maintain facilities, ensure a safe environment for workers, and mitigate food safety risks. Record keeping includes documenting practices, monitoring, and corrective actions. There are a variety of records that should be kept depending on the activity completed, and some that must be kept meeting the requirements of the Produce Safety Rule. Records may be kept by hand or electronically as long as they are unable to be changed after the record is made. Records that document the actions taken to support worker health and hygiene must be kept to prevent food safety risks commonly associated with workers. Worker training records must be kept to document workers receiving training on health and hygiene, the symptoms of foodborne illness, and other training relevant to their job, like identifying contamination during harvest. The training must be held before the person begins working and repeated at least annually. Other records that are important to maintain in support of worker health and hygiene activities include facility monitoring and restocking of toilet facilities, hand washing facilities, and first aid kits. These should be recorded as well as illness and injury reporting. They are important records ensuring that workers have the proper facilities and supplies to conduct the food safety practices they have been trained on. Soil amendment records must be kept if the amendment being applied is of animal origin. Record keeping for biological soil amendments includes the process used to treat the soil amendment and proves that the amendment has been handled in a way that minimizes the risk of contamination. Growers who compost to treat soil amendments on their farm must keep compost processing records, including the number of turnings, time, and temperatures. If a farmer obtains a soil amendment from a third party, they should have the name and address of the supplier, what soil amendment was purchased, and information about the compost processing. This includes verification that it was treated and handled to meet the requirements of the FSMA Produce Safety Rule, date of purchase, and lot information if available. Land use and wildlife management records should also be kept, documenting the risks associated with animals and neighboring lands. Such records include land assessments, monitoring animal activity, pre-harvest risk assessments, intrusion and contamination events, and corrective actions taken. Keeping these records is helpful in tracking patterns that can be used to make informed decisions. Agricultural water records include activities for production water, water used during harvest, and post-harvest water uses. For production water, it's important to conduct a yearly water system assessment. This is to evaluate risks associated with your water supply and distribution system, helping you make informed decisions about its use and how it should be applied. Harvest and post-harvest water sources must also be evaluated yearly to ensure the sources and distribution system are functioning properly and are free of risks of contamination. Records should be kept pertaining to harvest and post-harvest water, and they should include inspection system findings, water test results, and scientific data or information growers rely on to make decisions about water quality. If a grower is conducting water treatment, those monitoring records must also be kept. In addition, details of corrective measures taken, such as reinspection and correction of a problem in a water source, must be recorded. Cleaning and sanitation records must also be kept for activities regarding the cleaning and sanitizing of tools, equipment, packing areas, cold storage facilities, and containers. If a farm utilizes a third party or outside supplier to conduct these activities, the records must be collected and kept by the farm. Other records that should be retained include pest management activities, building maintenance and monitoring procedures, sanitation SOPs, and vehicle cleanings and inspections. Records can be tailored to fit the specific task and the farm's operation. Make sure records are legible and are reviewed before they are filed to ensure they are filled out correctly. There are many templates and formats available for record keeping. Some operations may choose to keep electronic records, while others choose to use handwritten records. If electronic, records should not be able to be changed once recorded. So what are some record-keeping best practices? All records must have name of log or task, date and time the task was completed, name of person completing the task, description of the task, any materials relevant to the task, the address of the farm, supervisor review, signature, and date. Record keeping should be kept simple. Keep record-keeping logs with pens attached in an easy-to-reach place near where monitoring activities occur. Records must be recorded at the time the activity takes place. Records must also be reviewed, dated, and signed within a reasonable time after the records are made by a supervisor or a responsible party. Farm records should be regarded as confidential and can be stored on or off-site. Off-site storage is acceptable if you can access records within 24 hours. Most food safety records must be kept for at least 2 years from the date of record creation. Records are an important part of a farm's food safety practices. They provide proof an activity has been performed properly and can provide important information that can be used for risk assessments and to make informed decisions about food safety on the farm.